Did you know on Yahoo Instant Messenger, you could only block 400 people? I didn't know. Because I'm always blocking, with some perv, and I'm like, block, block. And then one day, I hit the block, and then it pops up, and it's like, you've reached the maximum allowance for the Yahoo Instant Message. And I'm like, damn, I didn't know. And so then I opened up the block list, right? And then I just randomly took somebody off, and then it goes, where have you been? Those fucking internet trolls, they're online 24 hours a day, right? It's like they're the Phantom of the Opera. They're downstairs with all their monitors and all their guns. LOL, I'm over here.
I saw Margaret Cho on television a long time ago, and that really shocked me. I never saw an Asian woman on TV not doing the news at that time, and then speaking her mind. It just really made an impact on me. And when I saw her, I thought to myself, I could do that. But then I never pursued it. I was going to college, this and that, and working hard to try to be a journalist, and which I did. And then after a while I figured, what is it that I really believe that I can do? And I really thought that I could do stand-up comedy. So I took a comedy class, and then in the class you meet other people and stuff, and basically those classes are just making money off of people's dreams. But I always say you can take one class, but don't take any more classes than that, because nobody can tell you how to be you. Because everybody is different, and stand-up is you. And the ultimate thing is you have to be comfortable with yourself to be yourself on stage. And you're different than everybody else. But taking that class, if you take that class, then you can work at a comedy club, meaning you can answer their phone. You can clean the gum off the table. You volunteer 20, 30 hours of your labor for free, and in exchange you'll get 5 minutes on a Tuesday night show at 6 o'clock when there's 2 people in the audience. So I paid my dues. I did that for 3 to 5 years, and they lie to you, they keep you down, all this stuff, and they're always like, Tina, you have potential, but you got to keep doing all this other stuff. And then I finally was like, oh, screw this. And then I started putting my own shows together. I'd rent out a little theater, I'd promote it, and then people would pay to come see me, and so I'd make my money back for the theater and get paid as well. Because when I was working at the clubs, meaning working for free, they would also want me to promote. And so I would promote and bring all these people, but guess what? I wouldn't get the stage time. They want me to promote so that the owner of the club, who manages comics, will give his clients stage time with a good crowd that Tina did all the work for. I mean, it's such low class, low ball, and I really had to do it for myself. And at this point, I still do everything by myself. I promote, I produce, I do everything by myself because nobody else is going to do it for me. And I can't sit around and have everybody lie to me saying that I'm talented. But if I do this, I'll do this. I mean, I've never dealt with so many liars in my life since I moved to Los Angeles. And in the last 5 years, I think I've gone through a lot of things that you couldn't even imagine. People always ask me for advice who want to do stand-up, things like that, but I always say there is no formula. I mean, to be a stand-up comic is to be yourself, whatever that is, and not try to copy somebody else. And ultimately, it's your delivery, not really your material, it's your delivery. And the most important thing as a stand-up is that the audience connects with you and loves you. Because once they do that, you can do anything on stage and they're going to love you. And that just takes time. I think it was about, 6, 7 years. All of a sudden I felt it, because when I first started I was worried about my jokes and you're kind of stiff because you're reciting lines. But stand-up comedy is not acting. You don't memorize a script and go on stage and do a monologue. That's acting. Stand-up comedy is a conversation between me and the audience. And it's not planned, and it's spontaneous. And that's what stand-up comedy is. But in your mind, you have to have the arsenal of jokes to, pump it out there, which always comes in time. And I say you can take 1 or 2 classes, but after that, taking classes is a waste of time. Because somebody can tell you how to ride a bicycle, but you won't be able to do it until you actually ride a bicycle. The best thing is to speak in front of an audience. Whether it's an open mic or at a conference, practice speaking in front of an audience. to get your comfortability and everything, and do your jokes in front of people. And that's the only way you can get better as a stand-up. And you don't look in the mirror and memorize lines. Tonight I have my show and I'm going to throw out some new jokes. It might bomb, but the only way I can work on new jokes is to have a live audience let me know what's working and how my setup should be, because it's all delivery, it's all how you pause, it's all your facial expression, because I can do the same joke, but if my facial expression's off, the joke will bomb. When you do stand-up, of course, there's going to be nights when you bomb, and of course, when you start, you have to be prepared to have nobody laugh and everyone judge you. You got to be strong, because if that affects you, you'll never be able to do stand-up. And the first time I ever did stand-up, I don't even remember. All I remember is the lights go woo, and I could hear my heart beating, and my legs are like spaghetti, and I felt like I was on stage for an hour, but I think I was only on stage for about 3 minutes. Of course, you get better and better, and I first did like an Asian American college maybe about 9 years ago, and that was the first time I ever performed for Asian Americans. And beyond that, I've never performed for Asians before, and it was a totally different crowd. You have to use totally different material, and then I was like, oh man, they probably thought I was the worst. But that was great for me, because then I learned, what the Asians like, things like that. So to me, that was like one of the worst stand-ups I've ever done. But then after that, you learn from each thing, and you always get better. So bombing is always good, but I never really bombed, to tell you the truth. And plus, I've been doing it so long, and I never get hecklers either. People always ask, do you get hecklers? No. You know why? Because I'm nice, and people want to be my friend. They don't see me on stage and go, I hate her, and want to, because people heckle you when they hate you, or you're angry, or you're not funny, and you have a bad attitude. Because even if people don't think I'm that funny, I don't have a bad attitude on stage, so they're not going to be mean to me. So I've been fortunate that I don't get hecklers.